Your first step is to find the top left-hand corner of your paper. This is where we're going to start with a big horn for the black rhino. You're going to make this the end of a V, but make that V upside down. You're going to draw two sides of that horn. Now your horn should not go below halfway, maybe like 1/4 of the way down the paper, or maybe the length from your fingernail to your first knuckle. Now finish off that horn with a bulge and a line like that. It doesn't have to be perfectly shaped. Rhino horns are each different shapes and sizes. The black rhino has 2 horns. Let's do the next one. Right next to the first one, you're going to do another V. This time, don't make it quite as tall. Whoops. Okay. And this one we can finish off a little bit just with a couple of wrinkles. Now we'll do the mouth. Go to the end of your first horn, and here you're going to drop down maybe about 1 inch. This will be the top lip. Rhinos have these funny top lips that kind of hang down and then over. So you're going to want to go straight down first and then hook in a little bit like a fishing hook. And then the nose is going to go right here. Go ahead and draw an oval right in that area. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Let's continue this lip. Have it go down 1 more bulge and then another bulge below that, so that underneath the chin he's got maybe like 4 bulges. Let's find the location of the eye now. Go about halfway up the underside of this horn and then go over to where the second horn ends. This is about where his eye is going to go. Draw a little almond shape there and fill it in, and then erase your guidelines. And the part that really makes a rhino look like a rhino is adding the wrinkles. Their skin is very leathery and tough, and it hangs down, especially around their horns and their eyes. Around his eyes, actually kind of do some rings so that he looks like he's really wrinkly in his eye area. Down here, under the nostril, you can draw one of these lines in to kind of create a mouth. If you want him to be a smiling rhino, you can draw that mouth up. My rhino's happy. I'm going to keep it like that. Now, the rhino has a really strong jawbone. So you're actually going to do one more dip here, and you're going to come up all the way to the eye level, giving a lot of space in this area. Now let's add the ears. Go to your second horn where it ends, and you want to do a little hill like this going up, and we're going to add the back ear and the front ear. The back ear is going to face away from you, and it's going to be kind of like a rounded U, tall one like that, that's upside down. Now the one that's closer to us is going to start at the same point. So just skip over a little bit, and this time we're going to make more of an almond shape, and we're going to come down below into this area. So you're going to make a line that goes a curve on the right side and a curve on the left side, and this is going to be the ear that faces us. Now to make that ear more 3D, you can fill it in, especially on the inside here. Give it a couple little hairs. This one too could use a few hairs up top. And then along the back side, we're going to go down and attach this ear to the body by just giving it an extra line behind the ear and coming down into the neck area. To make this look like the back ear, you're going to have the head come in front of it and stop at the front ear. Let's add a few wrinkles here to make this even more rhino-like. A couple of wrinkles up here, and then under the ear, I'm actually going to draw a couple of wrinkles like that. Couple wrinkles over here, and let's add some wrinkles too along that jaw bone that we put in, maybe even a few in the chin and a couple more around the lip area. Are you guys ready for the body? In this drawing, the head is going to be about 1/3 of the body. So if you take your fingers and measure the head, the length of the head will then be 1/3, or the body will be 2 times longer than this. So measure this and then go 1, 2 for the body. Now, if you made your head too big, that's fine. The most important part of this drawing is the head. But the way I'm going to draw it here is that the body is going to extend over to this part of the paper. If you need to make your body shorter, that's fine. Start up along the ear that's facing us, and we're going to go up a hill. Your hill can have a little hump first, and then pretty soon we're going to get to the top, and we're going to go down, and then one more hump, kind of like a camel hump, and then down, and this is where it's going to sag. This is the spine of the rhino, and we've got 2 more humps like a camel back here where the hip bones come in. Now let's draw underneath the head and do the neck. Go about halfway up that jawbone, about right here, and we'll draw the neck here. The neck's going to go down and hit one big wrinkle, and then down again at about a 45-degree angle. We're going to draw the front leg, and it's going to look a little bit like a tree trunk. Go down at an angle a little bit farther, and then shoot straight down, giving a bulge for the knee and going down to the ground. Rhinos have big toenails, so when you hit the ground, you're going to want to go down a little bit out, kind of like the front of a foot, and then draw a toenail, so do kind of like a bulge there, and then one more on this side. It almost looks like a clover design. And then we're going to head back up to finish up the leg. So we're going to make the tree trunk go back up. You can go in behind the knee a little bit if you'd like, and then back up into the body. When you get up into the body, make that leg a little bit bigger, and then go up into the body like this, adding some wrinkles again. The legs even look more like a rhinoceros if you add wrinkles under the knee. And then the toenails are big lines down here at the bottom of the feet, like that. He looks a little off balance, so I'm going to put the back leg over here. On that second bump down, I'm going to start the back leg, and it's going to go straight down, curve into the body a little bit, and then go down to the ankle and bulge out like a clover. 1, 2. I'm going to just have 2 toenails showing for that front foot, and maybe just a little gap right in here. All right, let's work on the hind quarters. We did these 2 hip bones, kind of like camel humps, and now we're going to go out towards the rear end, and we are going to curve this under for the thigh and go in at an angle towards the ground. Keep going in, and at the bottom, we're going to do clover, but instead of 3, we're going to do 2, 1 toenail, and then another big toenail here. Okay? While we're back here, let's put in a little tail. The tail would hang down and kind of come out back here. So you can kind of do a little thin, kind of like a mouse tail, but then at the bottom, draw some hair. Rhinos have really rough hair, have kind of a hairy tail sticking out. And now let's do the belly. Go to that front foot you did and start to move up it until you hit a spot where it looks like the neck comes down and would connect with the belly. It's about maybe halfway up from the knee to the lines that you did in the armpit area. Let's have his belly hang down here, and basically you're going to make like a ski jump, or like more like a half pipe jump that goes down first and then shoots up here, ending right in this area here. Okay? Go down this a little ways, and this is what we're going to use to finish up our back leg. You're going to kind of do a backwards C at first, and then slide down the back leg and end right there. The other one is going to be hiding back here a little bit. I'm actually going to make a little line that starts that other back leg and then finishes it up a little farther in with maybe just 1 big toenail here. Go ahead and draw in those toenails for the back legs. like that. And now we're going to add some details to make it even more rhino-like. In this area, this little triangle area here, shade that to where the leg comes out. Then you also could do some lines here that first kind of start a little bit at an angle, but then end up going more up and down. Those are going to be the rib lines. Add some wrinkles pretty much everywhere, especially around the knee area and the ankle area. And then the final step, if you have time, could be to do some shading. We'll practice shading in our first unit in art class this semester. In this drawing, the darkest parts of the rhino will be underneath his belly. You can do some light filling in with your pencil, try not to create many gaps, and then take your finger and smear it around to create a more softened, less drawy, less line-based shadow. I'm also going to put some shadows here under the belly. When you rub it in like this, you can go back and erase it if you've gone over the lines. Add some shading down in here. I'm going to make this back leg shaded. And then under the chin here. And underneath the nose, underneath his mouth in this little area here, or her mouth. And then maybe around the horns a little bit. You can make the horn look a little more 3D by shading this side. Now if you see closely, I've shaded this side of the horn, but I went out of the line. So I can go back in now and just clean that up a little bit so that the shading is only on the horn. I'm going to clean up under here a little bit too. Under here, under the nose. And add just a final few wrinkles around the horns again. Back here on the neck, in the little camel humps, underneath the neck and these wrinkles. Really, you can't have too many. And then even between the toenails, get those nice and wrinkly. Okay? Now you can decide to add some flair to your rhino, make this rhino your own. You could give him a name, you could give him some clothes, you could make him saying something, give him a little speech bubble. We'll talk more about what we're going to do with these rhinos, but for now, you've learned how to draw a rhino, which is an important first step of being a student here at Ramsey.